my YouTubians, ODYSEEans, Slayin Saiyans, Cobra Kais, and my pumpkin that are smashing. I am Asherella. This is Original Asherella, and today we're going to be looking at and discussing some Smashing Pumpkins related news. And this has been out for a few weeks, but I'm just now getting around to talking about it with you guys. But it's definitely something I want to talk about with you guys because it's one of those things that is right up my alley. But to set it up and a little backstory on me, I, Asherella, was a bartender for many, many years, all through college and for several years after. And so I'm a little bit of a liquor and cocktail enthusiast. It's one of those things, bartending is one of those things that, like, once you have done it for so long, it never really leaves you, like, your interest in it. And y'all know that I am most definitely a Southern girl, so I'm a whiskey girl. And into my full-fledged adulthood, you know, my go-to hard liquor of choice is a higher-end bourbon. And you might be like, okay, great, Ash, but what does this have to do with the Smashing Pumpkins? Well, it has to do with the Smashing Pumpkins because Few Spirits, a distillery out of Illinois, has teamed up with Billy the Band and Madame Zuzu's to release a Smashing Pumpkins inspired / themed higher end bourbon. It's like, oh my god, if somebody were to cater a bourbon specifically to me, or cater a hard liquor specifically to an Asherella, this would be it pretty much. So we're going to be looking at an article from Whiskey Advocate, that is like a whiskey enthusiast website, that tells us all we need to know about Few, the mashup with the Pumpkins and Madame Zuzu's, some other collaborations they've done. We're actually going to order a bottle too, and whenever it arrives, I'm going to unbox it and do a taste test in a second video, and I'm really excited to do that. I cannot wait to try it, but let's get all the details first. But before we do, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on ODYSEE, follow the channel. You can gently press the notification bell on either platform so you know every time I upload a video. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, watch till the end of the video. Buy me a coffee. I have a new Smashing Pumpkins coffee mug that needs to be filled. Go to your social things, find me on my social things, the X thing, the Threads thing, and especially the Insta thing. Okay, as previously mentioned, this is an article from Whiskey Advocate. So, the
Smashing Pumpkins and Few Spirits collaborate on a new whiskey. Alternative rock group The Smashing Pumpkins has accomplished a lot over the past 36 years. The band, which is known for melodic melodies like Try Try Try, Bowl of Butterfly Wings, in 1979 has 2 Grammys and an AMA award under its belt, and one of its albums debuted at #1 on Billboard 200. Now, thanks to a partnership with Few Spirits, a craft distillery based in the band's hometown of Chicago, the Smashing Pumpkins has its own whiskey. The new expression starts out as Few's flagship bourbon, which is distilled from a mash bill of 70% corn, 20% rye, and 10% two-row malted barley. It was proof from around 62% to 46.2% ABV, that's alcohol by volume, using Midnight Rose, a blend of black teas scented with rose petals that's said to contribute flavors of rosewater and sandalwood to the whiskey. The tea comes from Madame Zuzu's Emporium, a tea shop in Highland Park, Illinois, run by Smashing Pumpkins frontman and vocalist Billy Corgan and his wife, Chloe Mendel Corgan. The whiskey Few Smashing Pumpkins carries a suggested retail price of $50. It's a limited release, but the rollout is expected to continue through summer. The announcement comes just ahead of the band's North American tour, which is stated to kick off in July and will feature performances by Green Day and punk rock band Rancid. Now we know
the Pumpkins are already on their European tour. I don't know why they would fail to mention that and just say, like, North American tour. But anyway.
The whiskey will hit shelves in states along the tour's route, but those who can't make the trek can buy a bottle online at the distillery's website. Long term, the distillery plans to turn this bottling into a more regular offering, which will ultimately be less allocated than its other limited releases. Through its use of bourbon base, the addition of tea disqualifies Few Smashing Pumpkins from being labeled as a bourbon.
Okay, my apologies. It is not actually a bourbon. It is just a whiskey. But pretty stinking close, right?
The label bills it as straight bourbon with tea, which indicates that it's a blend of both. Technically speaking, it's classified as the distilled spirits specialty.
Okay, so didn't it just say it wasn't a bourbon? Okay, so it's not a straight bourbon itself. Straight bourbon with tea. There's a difference between whiskey and bourbon, and it's like the way it's made and what it's made from. And if you want to look that up, do it. Okay, whatever, close enough.
This isn't Fu's first time cutting a whiskey down to proofing using something other than water. Other examples include Cold Cut, a bourbon proofed using cold brew coffee, and Immortal Rye, a rye whiskey that was proofed with cold extracted 8 Immortals Oolong tea. The bottling is its 4th label in a lineup of rock-themed releases from Few Spirits. The first was Brainville, a rye whiskey distilled from a mash fermented using French wine, yeast, and made in partnership with psychedelic rock act, The Flaming Lips. Now,
if you guys watched my Weezer video, you guys know that I'm actually a really big Flaming Lips fan, so that is one I would love to try as well. Maybe I'll get one of those sometime in the future also. Next came
All Secrets Known, a tequila cask finished bourbon named after a song from the legendary grunge band Alice in Chains. Finally, there's Motor Oil, a blend of 2 cask finished bourbon and a smoke wheat whiskey made from the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, which has the highest Whiskey Advocate rating.
Okay, so that is the article from Whiskey Advocate, but I wanted to look at their website also, and look at the actual Smashing Pumpkins listing, because we're going to put one in our cart and check it out. Okay, so music collaborations. First up there is the Smashing Pumpkins. In an innovative collaboration, Few Spirits and the Smashing Pumpkins have unveiled a distinctive bourbon meticulously crafted and brought to bottle strength using Billy Corgan's own Midnight Rose tea from his tea shop in Chicago, Madame Zuzu's. This unique partnership, unlike any in the rock whiskey world before, blends the bold flavors of our exceptional Few bourbon with the avant-garde musical spirit of the Smashing Pumpkins, known for their influential alternative rock sound showcased in iconic albums like Siamese Dream and Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. This bourbon features the bold, sweet, and spicy notes that are all the hallmark of Few, while boasting notes of rosewater, sandalwood, caramel, vanilla, and black tea. Our suggested serve is neat over a large rock while listening to the densely layered sounds from one of America's original alternative rock bands. Sounds pretty impressive. I'm excited about the rosewater, sandalwood, caramel, and vanilla and black tea flavors in this not quite bourbon. Let's look at a couple more. Here's the Alice in Chains. That looks pretty cool. Oh, first of all, let's talk about this label, okay? It is so very Smashing Pumpkins. It's celestial. It's like very ornate. You know, we've got the newest Smashing Pumpkins like logo, font, band emblem, so to speak. The new modern SP Heart logo. Very, very Pumpkins-esque. This is the Alice in Chains. Very, very cool looking label. That's something, even if I wasn't into alternative rock music or knew who Alice in Chains were, that's a label I would see and be like, oh, I want to try that. Now we have the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. That looks appropriate. You know, like it's not nearly as ornate as the other two, but it looks right, you know. And then we have the Flaming Lips, very psychedelic, very sort of 70s psychedelic, poster inspired. We like that. Yeah, looks very Flaming Lips-esque. I think they've done a great job with the aesthetic of these bottles. And I can't wait to get the Smashing Pumpkins and try it. All right, let's add one to the cart. Ooh, just one. Okay, so it is $55.99 on the Few website. Now we're going to check it out. I am not going to show you guys all my credit card details, so cut to the outro. Okay, y'all, so that is what is happening in the craft distillery world and something happening in the Pumpkins verse right now. What do you guys think of this Smashing Pumpkins flavored sort of bourbon whiskey? Let me know down in the comments below. I really can't wait to try it, and as soon as it arrives, we will do a video where we unbox and we try out the new Pumpkins Few mashup. I am so excited. I really hope I like it because I would hate to hate it, right? I would hate to hate it. I am keeping my fingers crossed. Let me know what your favorite hard liquor is down in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite, like, cocktail is down in the comments below. And are there any, like, cocktails that make you think of pumpkin songs, or pumpkin songs that make you think of any type of cocktails? I don't know. I've never really thought about it, honestly. And I've thought about liquor a lot, and I've thought about the pumpkins a lot. So I gotta think about that one. I don't know. What would be like, I don't know, like a tonight appropriate cocktail? Something to think about. Now my brain's gonna go down this whole rabbit hole of stuff like that. Like theming cocktails, coming up with new mixed drinks based on pumpkin songs. I don't know why I just did that to myself, but whatever. That's it for today, guys. I am Asherella. This is Original Asherella. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on ODYSEE, follow the channel. You can gently press the notification bell on either platform so you know every time I upload a video. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, buy me a coffee, go to Twitch, find Original Asherella on Twitch, and then tune in on Sundays at 8ish Eastern Standard Time for Kino and commentary. Go to your social things, find me on my social things, especially the Insta thing. I'm most active there. Always tap in, never tap out, and don't forget to keep on smashing like a pumpkin. We might end up getting smashed off this like a pumpkin. We'll see.